frosty morning, really cold, hat on indoors. I'm off to work in a moment, but I thought I would just jump on because I bought my seed potatoes at the weekend, and they're still in the sack and they really need to go on the windowsill to start chitting. So I wanted to share with you what I bought and the varieties that I chose. So I went to the nursery that I showed you in the previous video when they were putting out the first earlies. I gave it a week or two, and the second earlies and the main crop were all there when I went back. I did Google what numbers I'm looking at for seed potatoes, because last year I only had the home garden, and my plan was to do potatoes in buckets, and I only did them in buckets. And I bought from Tamar Organics, so quite expensive seed potatoes, good ones though, like the first earlies. I bought Vitabella, I think the variety was, and they were lovely, really happy with those. And then I had Ambo for the main crop, but I don't think there was any fault with the seed potatoes at all. It was the drought, and I didn't water them enough, and they were really disappointing. I did have one good crop of them, or one good bucket of them, towards the end of the season that I planted later, and so had had more water. But yeah, it's a weird thing, because the very first time I planted potatoes, which was like the Christmas potatoes for last year, I'd never grown potatoes before that, and it was a mouldy potato from the bottom of a potato bag that I'd bought from the supermarket, nothing special about it. Stuck it in a bucket, one single seed potato, and come Christmas I had lovely potatoes. They'd grown so many. Was super chuffed. I thought potatoes were dead easy. This year has taught me otherwise, but this year obviously I've got the allotment, so I can do potatoes in the ground, which I think is what I will do, just because it was too hard to keep on top of the watering really, in the buckets. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll do some in buckets at home, some at the allotment, because I did end up buying quite a few. So where I started with that ramble was that I Googled how many I would need, and I also asked on a Facebook group how many I would need for like 2 people. I didn't get a particularly good answer, and it was all in kilograms, and I just wanted to know how many potatoes to pick up. But anyway, I went with the intention of getting about 20. I came back with 36. So what I got was 2 of each type, so 2 first earlies, not 2 potatoes, 2 varieties. 2 varieties of first earlies, 2 varieties of second earlies, and 2 varieties of main crop, and I got 6 of each, 36. So I was also super organised, which was completely off chance. I suddenly thought, as I was going out the door, I'd probably need bags to put the potatoes in, that I wouldn't know when I got home what the potatoes were. So I took scrap paper and a pen and little bags, and yeah, I had a whole system going. And it was really nice at the garden centre. There were lots of people there, well, not lots, but a few people there buying seed potatoes, and we were chatting and asking, what would be a good variety. So some of these are recommendations from people I met while I was buying them. Some are recommendations from various YouTube channels and blogs and things that I read, books that I've got. So I had a list on my phone. I think there were only 2 that were on my list, so I got those. But yeah, then it was a bit of a toss-up really. I was kind of reading the descriptions. It's a very random selection, is what I'm saying. So let's see what we've got. First little bag. So this is like a lucky dip. So this is Saxon, and that's a second early. I didn't particularly know what I was looking for in a seed potato, and when I got there, and you've got a tray of loose potatoes, some are massive, some are small. I thought go in the middle, get a medium-sized potato, make sure they're firm and that there are some visible eyes on them. When I got home and Googled what I should have looked for, and you will soon find that this is my process, I do something, then look it up. But that was a smart thing to do. And now I'm not going to remember this. I think if you buy a small potato, you're likely to get less potatoes but larger. I think if you buy a large potato, you'll get more potatoes but smaller. If I get that wrong, I'm going to amend myself on the screen. But yeah, I went for medium. So I guess I'm going to get medium size and a fair number, which is fine. So that was the first second early then. Ha! Confusing way to phrase that. So next little bag, let's have a look. Also a second early, I got Marispard for those. I'd like to tell you about each of these potatoes and why I bought them, but I have no clue now. I should have done this video as soon as I bought them. Oh, here's a slightly loose bag. So these ones are main crop, and I went for Valor. I don't know why that's so pleasing, but it is. Okay, next bag. Second early. Hang on. Didn't I already say I had 2 second earlies? Second early. Second early. Second early. Oh. Yeah. Oh, whoops. I'm guessing I only bought 1 first early then. See, I said I was organised. They're Charlotte anyway. And I had Charlotte potatoes as my Christmas potatoes this year, and they've been nice, so everybody likes Charlotte potatoes, don't they? Right, this must be main crop. No, this is first early. Red Duke of York. Slightly larger potatoes there, which I guess is good because that'll be lots of small ones that it will produce, which was what you want for first earlies. And so this one is a main crop, and that is Cara, which is the one that I did have on my list and wanted. So I've ended up with only 1 first early, haven't I? I went with my cousin, and she is going to think that's hilarious because she came with nothing and just bought her potatoes, and I'm all like with my setup and my pen and pieces of paper and things, and I still got it wrong. Well, not defeated, because I didn't even want that many second earlies. I didn't even grow second earlies last year. Anyway, doesn't matter. All it means is I can go back and buy more potatoes and get some more first earlies. So I'll have to think what variety I'd like. In fact, I'm going to a garden centre in Derby tomorrow morning to see if I can take some gloves back or exchange them for a different size. And I'm sure they have loose potatoes, and they'll have different varieties to my local one. So there we go. That's the plan for getting my replacement first early. Okay, chitting. So last year I chitted my potatoes on my bedroom windowsill, and that seemed to work a treat. It's a fairly cool room and gets plenty of light at the front of the house. I am vegan. My sister is vegan, my mum is vegan, my partner is vegan, all my colleagues at work are vegan. So I don't have egg boxes. Last year I got them from my cousins and aunts and things, and that was fine. They haven't given me any this year. But I remembered in the greenhouse I had these, which are not egg boxes. They are boxes that were in the supermarket that I think had tomato puree in. And they were being sold off for like 10p or something. So there were loads of these boxes just laying about as people had raided the shelf. But I thought they were like the perfect size for sowing seeds. Really cute. But they're going to be put to use, first of all, for chitting potatoes. So I'm going to arrange my potatoes in these. Apologies, my phone rather gave up the ghost there. But I can show you what I've done, which is So here are the potatoes with their label, and I've just popped them in so they're balancing with the side that has the most eyes facing upwards. I've popped back on because I was thinking about it and I was sure the Maris Bard were in the first early section. So I googled it and they are first earlies, and so I'm redeemed. I did get 2 of each type. It's just that my F looks like an S. However, I've got excited now by buying more seed potatoes. So I think what I might do is when I'm in the garden centre in Derby tomorrow, just see if they've got some of the varieties that I had on my original list, and if they have, I could be tempted to buy a few more. Watch this space. Sunny but snowy at the garden centre. It's nice to have a little look around in the snow. They had seed potatoes but not loose ones, and nothing on my list, so I think that's probably for the best. 36 potatoes is probably plenty, so all done.